and I will make you Farooq as a host. So now I made you as a host. Now you can just pause the recording.
But where can I pause the recording?
Do you see the option?
Okay. अमाउंट कितना हुआ?
ये
Hello?
1500, हाँ 1500 है ना यहाँ पर, तो ये
Okay. अब कितना हुआ?
15,000, 15,000, यस।
तो अब क्या होना चाहिए यहाँ पर?
तो ये उसमें ऐड होगा ना?
ऐड नहीं होगा, अब यहाँ पे होगा 1 मिनट अलर्ट करेगा जनरेट वो, क्योंकि ये 10,000 से ज्यादा है पैसे। देखो
अच्छा 10,000 ही चाहिए, अच्छा ओके।
अब गरीब है बेचारा, 10,000 से ज्यादा लेगा तो दिखाएगा। हमें अगर लाख का देते तब ना आता। चलो आई थिंक सर ने ज्वाइन किया है, सॉरी।
ठीक।
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
Sir, I have started recording and make you host now.
You have a meeting right now?
Yes, sir. I have started recording and you are the host now.
Okay.
Sir, I am having a severe headache today. I am in the class, but I will not be actively participating.
Okay. So you just go to the session and then go to the recording. Okay, later on. So I won't shout out your name to answer any query. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So let's go back to where we were in exception handling. Where are the bullet points which we had scratched? Yeah. This, right? So now the only thing which was left was throws keyword. Did you all get user-defined exception?
नो सर, प्लीज एक्सप्लेन सर,
See, user-defined exception is
one
just
more time sir, please.
you just have to make a class.
User defined
Yeah,
exception.
you have to make a class by whatever exception you are making. So what were we making the class for?
Low quantity
What was
exception.
our use case? When
Yes.
should we throw the exception in our case? We were doing a wholesaler shop, right?
Right sir.
So we were asking the customer to enter the quantity. And if the customer entered quantity more than 500, we would say order accepted. And if the customer entered quantity less than 500, we would throw an exception, correct?
Correct sir.
So our use case was that the quantity should not be less than 500. So that's why we named the exception accordingly, okay?
Okay.
ओके
And we had two options to extend from. Either I could extend from the exception parent class, or I could extend from the runtime exception. So what difference would it make if I would extend from either of them? Yes. What difference would it make if the low quantity exception extends from exception, or the low quantity exception extends from runtime exception? Anyone?
So runtime exception is a unchecked exception. It occur during a runtime.
Exception will occur at runtime, either it is checked or unchecked, irrespective of that. Exception will occur at runtime. So that statement is common for both of them, checked and unchecked.
Yes, right.
So what is the difference?
But in case of check, the compiler generate alert.
Yes.
But in case of runtime, compiler doesn't generate any alert,
The
or it
compiler will
shows
not
the
warn.
directly error.
Compiler will not warn you
Yes.
about the exception. Today we'll do the practical of that. Today we should see the practical. So what is the difference if I make it checked, and what is the difference if I make it unchecked? So now I have a class called as ABC exception. And if I say extends exception and extends runtime exception, what difference does it make? Extends exception will make it a
Okay.
uh,
Compiled, checked exception.
and extends runtime exception will make it a
Will make it the unchecked exception.
Okay.
unchecked exceptions are not warned by the compiler at compile time.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and these mainly occur due to programmers' logic mistakes. And mostly they occur due to the logic errors. When there's a failure in the logic, then these exceptions happen. So now I had the opportunity of making this extends both, right? What did I choose?
Exception
Exception.
check.
Now this has made low quantity. What?
Means compiler warn during a compilation time.
So this has made low quantity exception as a user defined checked exception, correct?
Right, sir.
Okay, so I want to throw the error message. So I take only one attribute in this called as string
String.
Error message. Yes.
error message.
Okay.
Then this is the parameterized constructor of my class,
Yes, sir.
which is a super class of this class.
Exception.
Exception.
So I call the parameterized constructor of that class and pass my error message to it.
Okay.
Okay, so that will do the initialization. That's all you have to put in the user defined exception. Now to throw this exception, as it is a user defined exception, you have to give your own condition to throw it. So whatever condition you are giving, give it in try catch, because this block will throw an
Yes.
exception. An exception can be thrown from a try block.
Keyword. By using the throw keyword.
Yeah, so when you want to explicitly throw the exception, you can use the throw keyword and throw the exception
Right. So
at
it
a
is
particular condition.
okay.
Getting it? And you throw the object. You always throw the object. So throw new, the class name, and then as we have made a parameterized constructor over here. So whenever I make object, I should pass a string, right?
So it is compulsory to pass a parameterized constructor here.
Yes.
Can we use a default constructor
Then how
in
will you
place
pass
of
this error
the
message?
parameterized constructor?
Then how will you pass this error message?
Okay.
Then how will we pass the error message? Then you have to hard code the error message then. Then you'll have to hard code the error message over here. String error message
Before
equals.
passing a message, we use a parameterized constructor, right?
Otherwise you have
If
to hard code the
other
error
way.
message over here.
Okay. When
If you're using a non-parameterized constructor, then you'll have to give the message over here. Please enter quantity, blah, blah, blah. So it's better that you just make a parameterized constructor. And whenever we are making the object of that class, pass the string. Got it?
Got it, sir.
And then now, if this except try block throws the exception, we did a matching catch block. So this is that matching catch block which will catch the exception. Got it?
Sir, got it. Can you give, sir, other examples, sir, based on this,
Okay,
please?
let's take another example. So
Yes.
let's take another example that if you are asked to enter first name, okay? So if I ask you to enter first name and someone enters first name like this. Is this first name valid?
No,
Why not valid?
space is here.
If the word contains a space, means if the word contains a, okay, is this first name valid?
Yes.
Is it Virat one?
No, sir.
One. Okay.
So what should the word not contain?
Numeric space or any other
Okay.
special character.
So now if I am the user, now I'll make my own exception for such cases. So I go over here, I say new class, and let's make invalid name exception. Okay. Let's take the same format and paste it over here. Here the constructor name will change. And you want to make it checked or unchecked?
Unchecked, sir,
Okay.
because it's the runtime exception.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, what logic will we use to throw? So first, I will say, please enter your name. Please enter your, and then I will scan it in. Correct.
Yes, sir, correct.
And then I will go and try block and I will check. Okay. For integer I equals to 0, I less than s name dot len I plus plus if s name dot char at
Yes,
any index
character read करने की.
is equal
One by
to a space or okay, as of now, just let's check for
special character.
or
Then sir,
character
what we do?
dot is digit s name dot character at I. We can use them.
And for special character, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see if we have any special character function. So the character wrapper class. The dot is the space char is there. Okay, so we can directly instead of using that, we can use this space char. This space char. So character dot is space char escape dot char at I, or character dot is digit escape dot character at I. Now, what is there for special character? Character dot, is there any function? Is digit is there, is surrogate, is identifier, is ignorable, is ISO, is Java identifier, part start, is Java letter, is letter or digit. This is letter, is space, is surround, is title, is only for the upper place, it's white space. Okay, first just let me check this logic, then we can use the other logic. So if I just check this much, that if it is containing a space or containing a digit, what will I say? What will I
sir,
say?
there
It
is
contains?
no
Huh?
option for
Hmm?
special character, sir. There is no option for
Yeah,
special character.
we'll check that logic. As of now, just
Okay.
let's stick with this. So if it contains a space or if it contains a digit, what will I do then? Is that a valid name?
Yes. Okay.
That is a valid name if it contains.
No, is not valid.
So what will you do?
We write here a system.out.println.
No,
It's not valid.
We'll throw the exception. Why did you make the exception there?
Okay.
Okay, so if and else. Okay, let's put a if now. So what will we do? Throw new, which exception?
Format.
Which exception? Which exception will we throw?
Invalid format.
Invalid name. We just made our own exception, no?
Okay. Okay. Invalid name.
And we will say what? Please enter valid first name. Okay. And what will we do? We'll break. Do not import this. And handle like
Sir, is a cutout by, sir?
deprecated is, I guess this is no more. Java doesn't support this method anymore. Okay, so now we can have a catch. So what is being thrown? I'll have object of that. And if I do sys out, if I directly print the object, what will happen? It will print me the entire class name, which class is throwing the exception. This is not required. Okay. What is happening over here? This is unreachable code. According to the exception. And if it completes the for loop, then we can sys out valid name. See, so if this is deprecated, then we can directly use we can use SCS character equals to space. So if any value at any index starting from 0 to the length, if it contains a space or it contains a digit, I will directly throw the exception. Okay. And if condition does not arise, this for loop will break and I will display valid name. Okay. So if he enters over here VIR A and T, so at this moment, this
It shows
condition will
the
be true.
yes, sir.
So what will it do? Throw the,
Exceptions.
so will it display this
Please
line?
enter valid name.
Will it display this line then?
No.
Because in the try, at whatever line the exception occurs, the remaining try is skipped, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if he enters this Virat, was this condition true anytime? If he enters Virat proper, will
Then
was
it
this
shows the last.
condition, was this condition true?
No.
Any
False.
point of time? Was there any, was there space?
No.
Was there digit? No, right?
No. No.
So it did not go into the if at all, correct?
Yes, sir.
So it will display
Valid name.
and
Thank you. Visit again.
let's try.
Sir, अगर if you write these lines, valid name in place of outside within a bracket, you can use a else condition and write this line
No. No need to use the
instead
if else
out of
condition.
mental and valid name.
No, you no need to use the else condition over here.
Okay.
What is the console? We'll have to take it from window, show view and console. Because the moment the exception occurs, this will automatically terminate the try block.
Right.
So if this valid name is executing, means the exception did not occur. So now if I enter Virat, what is it showing?
Valid name and thank you. Visit again.
And now if I enter Vira, now
It shows an error and
yeah, it shows the invalid name
Yeah.
exception, correct?
yes, sir.
Please
Please
enter.
enter valid first name. Thank you. Visit again.
Getting it?
Yes, sir.
This is how you can make your own exceptions. Understood?
Yes, sir.
And you can throw it on the conditions which you feel appropriate. Okay, now let's go to the next topic called as throws. Okay, what is the meaning of the word delegation? Task delegation. What do you understand by this term?
Consistency.
What is the meaning of this word in English?
I think consistency.
Okay. What do you think, Ahmed?
Continuously, sir.
What? What is the word on display?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see my paint screen?
Yes, sir.
What do you
Paint.
see?
Task delegation.
Yeah. What does that mean? What do you understand by this term task delegation?
Doing tasks with delegation means
See, if your dad gave you a task, okay, to get the car serviced,
okay.
and you told yes, I will do it, and you take the responsibility, and he gives you the money, he gives you 10,000, and he gives you the bike car keys, and he tells you that you have to go today. You have to go today and get it serviced. This happened at around 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and you said confidently yes. and at 10:30 you get a call from a friend that they have planned to go outdoors. Okay, they have planned to go outdoors for a excursion, for a trip. Okay, and that was in plan that we are going to go, and everyone had made contribution for this, but the date was not finalized, and all of a sudden they say that we have to go today. So what will you tell now?
I'll have to go for course service.
So what will this person whose dad gave him the responsibility tell?
I have a work. I won't go.
Okay, this person also has a younger brother, okay, who's also an adult, 22, 23 years old. So what will he do now? The task was given to the elder brother. Elder brother said,
Work is done or not properly and on time.
so now this elder brother's friends have made a plan to go for a trip. Now what will this elder brother do?
He will not go.
Okay, that is answer one. That is one scenario. Scenario one is he will not go. Okay, next, what else?
He can ask from his younger brother.
Yes. So that is he will do himself. Will do himself, correct? And second scenario is what?
Ask the younger brother.
That is called delegation. Delegate the work to him. Delegate the work to someone else whom he trusts, whom he.
It means to complete a task with mutual understanding.
Yeah, so the task has to be done. Either you do it by yourself or you delegate to someone else.
Yes.
Correct? Is that making sense?
Yes.
That is called as task delegation. So what do I mean by exception
Can
delegation?
you explain the work answer, please, one more time?
Which scenario two?
Yes, sir.
So if that person has got a task to get the car serviced and he is busy, he has to go out. So he will tell his younger brother that you please go and get the car serviced, and he will pass on the 10,000 and the keys to him. Correct?
Okay.
So
Correct,
first
sir.
the dad gave the 10,000 and the keys to whom? Dad gave to elder son, correct?
Correct, sir.
So why didn't the dad go himself? So what did the dad do? Why didn't the dad go himself? So what did the dad do to the work?
Because he is the elder brother.
The task is car servicing. What is the task?
Car servicing, yes.
So
Need to be
it
done
is
by
the
a
dad's
gypsy
car. Whose car?
Dad's
That
car.
So why did now the dad gave the elder son the money and the keys? So what did the dad do over here?
You give
Because
10,000 plus
it was the dad's car, right? So it was his responsibility to get it serviced, correct?
yes, sir.
But the dad is not going to the service station, and he is telling his elder son that you go and take this money and the car keys and get this car serviced. So what did the dad do?
Delegate the work to elder son.
Correct.
Okay, done, sir.
That is called task delegation. So either you do it by do what? Do by
By himself.
Do himself or do
or
delegate
The
the
work
work
to
to
someone
someone
else.
else.
That is called as task delegation. So what is the meaning of exception delegation?
Task assigned to someone else, like throw and throws by using a keyword throws.
Very good. So in your college, did you all have any cultural festival, annual cultural festival? I assume you all would have. Once in a year it would be. Did your college have any cultural festival once in a year annually? So normally colleges have. So let's say there's a college, let's say a very big college, ABC College of Engineering. ABCCOE, ABC College of Engineering, okay? And it is a very, very, very prominent, very, very big college. A very, very big institute. So will it have money or will it not have money? If it's a very big institute, will it have the funds or will it not have the funds?
It will have.
Will have. So they discuss with a rock star in the US. Okay, any pop star, rock star in the US, they negotiate that you have to come and perform on our cultural festival. Okay, let's say the rock star name is XYZ and he is in the US. So it's a very big institute, so they have the budget. So they discuss with this. So this rock star, after going through the offer, the manager of this rock star replies that, okay, we are willing to do the show, but we have certain requirements which you have to fulfill. First requirement is you have to provide us the airfare of the entire crew. Okay, so the pop star will have an entire team of our guitarist, our drummer, and other musicians, singers. So let's say a crew of 25 people will be there. So who will arrange for the airline tickets of these 25 people? Yes.
College.
Who will arrange for the airline tickets, the airfare? Will it be done by XYZ or will it be done by ABC? Yes, no, maybe.
XYZ is the organization.
XYZ is the performer. Organization is ABC.
ABC will.
ABC must.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
ABC.
he is just listing down what all requirements he has, which has to be fulfilled by ABC, correct? Second,
Yes.
he says that we will stay in a 5-star hotel.
Mm.
So who will arrange for the accommodation for the hotel? And he says
PC.
that
BCCUE.
the dietitian have prescribed this meals for us. So we want to have only such type of meals. So who will arrange for that meal?
ABC.
Yes, sir.
And they say that when we will commute from the hotel to the college,
Mm.
we will commute in a personal car. Okay, we will not go by public transport. So who will arrange for the personal cars?
ABC.
And he says we want bouncers and security also at the hotel plus the institute where we will perform. So who will arrange for the bouncers and security?
ABC.
Task arranged by ABC.
Okay, so this person is just listing down the requirements. What it is telling?
We need these facilities.
Yeah, we need these facilities, just listing down the requirements that he wants. Now, is he himself going to do all this
No.
XYZ? Is XYZ going to book the tickets for himself and book the hotel room, prepare his own food, take a local cab, and then take his brother with him as a security? Will he do all this? What he says, I want to invest my entire energy into performing, right? My 100% energy in where? In the
Perform.
performance. That is my task. Okay, that is what I'm being paid for. So I want to invest my entire energy in the performance. If I start doing ticket and hotel stay and making my food, my performance will get hampered. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if it is exam time, what do the parents do? Do they ask the son, do this work, do that work?
No.
Why no?
Because the
Because
performance will be
that
hampered.
will hamper his performance.
Yes.
So they want him to focus his entire 100% energy on his studies, correct?
Yes.
So ABC college will take the ownership because so over here, who is the caller, who is the callee?
ABC is the caller and next is the calling.
So caller is this and callee is this, correct?
Yes.
So
Sir, caller is pop rock star, na sir? Callie is ABC.
the one who is being called is the caller. If you are calling me,
ABC is calling
Shabana
XYZ to perform
is
in his
calling Umar
college.
sir.
And ABC is the
So who is
caller.
the caller? Who is the callee? If Shabana is calling Umar sir, who is the caller? Who is the callee?
Shabana is the
Caller.
caller.
And Umar sir is calling.
Right?
That is what.
Yes.
So if ABC COE is calling XYZ, who is the caller? Who is the callee?
Okay.
Hmm?
ABC is the caller and star is calling.
So all this work will be managed by whom now?
Caller.
ABC.
So he will just list down the requirements, correct?
Yes.
And all this has to be arranged by ABC, correct? So similarly, in exception delegation, no, let's take example. And this will help you understand what is checked and unchecked exception also. Okay, so let me share this code with you all of the group. So those who are not there can benefit from it. So this is the this is the exception. Yeah, I've shared both the files. Now let's come over here, the natural tendency. So let's remove all this stuff. Are you able to see my screen? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All have can, right? Okay, so I come here and I want to divide two numbers. I want to divide two numbers. So what will I do? I will accept two numbers on the user. What will I tell?
Enter number.
Please enter numerator. And I will take it an integer n equals to next term, correct?
Next
And
enter.
similarly, what will I do?
Please enter denominator.
And then I call a function called as divide and pass what to it? Now let's create this function. So what will this function do? Yes. What will the function do?
Divide.
Divided by D.
N by D.
Numerator divided by
What
denominator.
if the D is 0 then?
0.0 जो भी it's a double
What if,
answer shows
what if
in
D is,
format of double.
what if D is 0?
It will ask for please enter a valid number.
Let's check. Let's check. I'm not doing any exception handling over here, correct?
Okay, correct, sir.
So I said 10 and 0. What did it give me?
Arithmetic exception.
Did I handle it?
No, sir.
No, it's not handled.
Okay, so I should have done that.
No.
Now this handling, if it is done over here, then who is doing it? The self is doing it.
Right. Right.
The
No.
method himself is doing it, correct?
Yes.
The method himself is doing the handling.
Arithmetic exception. This exception is called a checked exception.
This is an unchecked exception. Arithmetic and unchecked exception.
Okay, sorry. Right, sir. Arithmetic. No?
Okay, so now if I enter numerator as 4 and now 0, it will catch the action, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now this main is the caller and divide is the callee, correct?
Yes.
Correct, sir.
Line number 13, which function is calling which function?
And divide is calling N and D.
Yes, Ataullah.
Divide is the caller or ND is the callee.
Yes, Amir.
Yes, sir.
Line number 13, which method is the caller? Which method is the callee?
Line number 13 is caller and 16 is callee.
Mike, understand the question first. Always try to understand what is being asked. Do not just don't perceive anything that my question is at line number 13, which method is the caller method? Which method is the callee method? Which method is calling which method? Oh, okay, now tell me.
Okay. Main method is the caller method and divide is a callee.
Yes. It's just
Yes.
about line number
Calling.
13.
Main is
Main
calling.
is, sir, main is the caller, sir.
Yeah, so main is calling, no? Main is calling divide.
Right, sir.
Divide is callee.
So main method is calling divide method, correct?
Correct, sir.
Who is the caller? Who is the callee?
Main caller and divide is callee.
Main and callee is divide, correct? So here, who is handling the exception? Caller or callee?
Method, sir. Callee,
Caller.
sir. Callee, sir.
Who is handling the exception?
Exception is handled by the caller.
Yeah, handle means catch. So who is handling it?
The callee.
Callee,
Handling,
right?
sir.
Divide is handling it, right? So if
Yes.
I call a performer and I go to his room and I see him making his breakfast and he is booking the cab on Ola or Uber.
Yes.
Yes, that is what is happening. The callee function is doing all the handling part.
Yes, sir.
But now I want to relieve the callee of the handling and give the handling to the one who is calling. So main now, whenever it will call divide, it will call it in try.
Okay.
And the caller will now do the handling.
Hmm.
The one who is called will just focus on his performance. He will just focus on his performance. That is what his task is. And he will tell, like ABC, like X, Y, Z selling, he will tell that I want these facilities. So he says that I throw arithmetic exception. So whoever is calling me, please make sure that you handle arithmetic exception.
Okay.
This is called as exception delegation. So the method focuses only on his performance, only on his business logic. And it tells that I have a tendency of throwing this exception. Like how XYZ is telling that I want air ticket, I want hotel stay, I want chauffeur driven cars, I want security. So that's why this UID is telling that I want you to catch this exception.
Arithmetic
And
exception.
whenever we are going to call this exception, so we'll call it in the try block. This
And he and
is
it handle the situation.
And
Okay.
if this function throws an exception, the caller only will catch it. The callee will not do anything. Callee will just do the business logic. Who understood this concept of throws?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand.
Yes, Mehtab, Ataullah, who all are there?
Yes, I am here.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir.
Ataullah, you got it?
Yes.
What the throws keyword does? Your voice is very frail.
Okay.
So like this, we have to do throws. Got it? Now if I try to run this, okay,
Okay.
okay. Now if I try to run this code, enter numerator 10 denominator 2. You get the answer, correct?
Yes.
Because exception was not thrown. And now if I do a run again with 10 and 0, will this throw an exception?
Yes.
Yes, sir. There is an
Will
exception,
throw at
but
which
it will
line?
flow
Which line will throw an exception?
line number
25.
25.
Line number 25, right?
Yes, sir.
So divide has told that I have a tendency of throwing this exception and I will not catch it. Is divide catching it?
No.
No.
So it will go back over here and it will go
Catch
to
it.
this catch and then this catch will catch it.
Please
enter
enter
validation.
valid.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes, sir.
One function can throw multiple exceptions. One function can throw
Multiple exception.
this says I want this also, and it's like how ABC XYZ gave a list of 5 tasks, right? So it can say I can throw these exceptions. I also can throw input mismatch also. What it is telling?
Only numeric values
All
entered.
exceptions, which all exceptions can be thrown by this?
Exception.
Which all exceptions can
Super
be thrown
class.
by the divide function?
Input mismatch.
Which all exceptions can be thrown by the divide function?
Arithmetic.
And you see a comma
Input
over here.
mismatch.
You see a comma.
No.
Input mismatch exception.
You don't see this, Shabana. So which all exceptions can be thrown by this divide function?
Arithmetic exception and input mismatch exception.
Like this, if it says I can also throw IO exception, then
Yes. IO exception.
so can one method throw multiple exceptions?
Yes.
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 Yeah. Okay, this also is a possibility. You all get that? So who will do the handling part of that?
Divide.
Who will do the handling part?
Handling part. Catch part, sir.
Yeah, who will do that? When a,
First one is an
Poly-
arithmetic exception
when a
work.
function says throws exception, who will do the handling part of those exceptions?
Catch arithmetic exception even. Main function, the caller function.
Caller function, not always,
Caller function.
not always main. Always calling will do. Okay, so if main is calling a function, let's say main is calling a function called as apple function. Okay, I'll just get a random name. So now see, you understood this, right? I'll just send this also across to the group so that you all know what is throws keyword. Okay. Yeah, you all know what is throws keyword. Now I'll get rid of all this. No, we can keep it, no problem. Now, which function is main calling? Which function is main calling? Am I audible to you guys? Your screen visible?
Yes.
So
Calculate,
which function?
calculate, sir.
Calculate.
Calculate. And which function is calculate calling?
Divide.
And who is doing the divide?
Divide.
Divide function, okay?
Yes.
So in the previous example, the father delegated the work to the elder son, and the elder son got the work done. Okay. So here father send giving it to elder son giving it to younger brother. Okay. So father called whom? Main called whom? Main
Calculate.
Main
Calculate.
is a father. Calculate is to the brother.
Younger brother.
elder son.
Elder son. Okay.
And
Yes.
divide is the
Younger.
so main is the father. Father is calling whom?
Elder son.
Brother.
Elder son. And then
Okay.
responsibility comes to elder son. Now elder son also wants to go. So he calls whom?
Younger brother.
Younger brother. And younger brother does the task, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now if younger brother says throws arithmetic exception, will the younger brother handle it?
Yes. No.
So who will handle it?
Main.
One who is
Main.
calling it. The one who is calling him. So who is calling divide?
Younger brother. Elder brother.
So is the elder brother handling it?
No.
So either the elder brother should handle it by try catch, or elder brother should also delegate it. That
Yes.
now father, you handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So either you handle it or you delegate it. Getting it? So now calculate also is calculate handling this exception.
No.
So calculate also is telling that I will also delegate it. to the one who is
Mhm.
calling me. And now who is calling divide?
Main. Caller.
Who is calling calculate? Main. Now main
Yes,
is
sir.
doing the handling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is called as exception delegation. Either
Nice.
either you do the try catch or you do throws. Do either of them. Who all are understanding what I'm trying to say?
Just work
Yes,
needs
sir.
in Excel.
Got it, right?
I understand, sir.
Either you do the handling by yourself or you
Mhm.
delegate it to someone else.
Yes.
So either divide will write the try catch. If divide is not writing the try catch and want to focus only on its performance, then divide will say the one who is calling may handle it. Now the one who is calling divide is calculate. Now either calculate, try the try catch and handle it, or if calculate also doesn't want to do it, it will say I also will throw the exception. And then when it comes to the last, someone has to write the try catch. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, who calls the main method? JVM. Who calls the main method?
JVM.
JVM.
Yes.
Now if main wants the JVM to do the handling, if main wants JVM to do the handling, what will main do?
Main rule calling part. Call the function.
It also does not see. Divide did not want to handle it, so divide gave it to calculate.
Calculate.
Calculate also didn't want to handle it, so calculate gave it to main.
Main.
Right? Main also doesn't want to handle it just now.
JVM.
JVM. So what should main do?
Passing the
Main
task.
function is only
JVM is now calling.
in a program.
See, the function who does not want to handle it and wants to give the handling to its caller, right? Throws besides it, right? So divide did not want to handle it, and divide wanted its caller to handle arithmetic exception. So we wrote after divide function throws arithmetic exception. And calculate also didn't want to handle it, and calculate wanted its caller to handle it. So against calculate we wrote throws arithmetic exception. Now my question is main also doesn't want to handle it, and main wants its caller, that is the JVM, to handle it.
Yes,
So
sir.
what should we write?
JVM handle it.
So what should we write in the code?
Then
Default.
Use the same logic. Use the same logic which is used by divide and calculate.
then in place of try catch, we can write here a throws exception name, throws arithmetic exception
Where? At what line?
at line number 14.
No, you write throws after the function name.
Okay.
Let's write the throws keyword. Function name, parameters, and before the curly bracket opens of that function.
Okay.
So if you want to write throws arithmetic exception in main, where will you write it?
After the main throws arithmetic exception.
Before the, after the main and before the,
Curly bracket open.
you mean over here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, correct. So now I can remove the try catch from here also. Now who will do the handling?
JVM.
And what is JVM natural way of handling the exception then now if an exception occurs? Now what is JVM natural way of handling exception? Now then JVM will do by its own way, correct? So JVM will see which class exception is occurred, make an object and throw it, correct? And then the program will terminate. So this is how JVM handles the exception. So now I run. So now if I enter 10 and 2, answer is 5. But now if I enter 10 and 0, and now this is how JVM handles the exception, correct? How does what is Java's natural tendency of handling exception? Where whenever it gets an exception, it will make an object of that and throw it. Was that object caught in the code? Was that object caught in the code anywhere?
Throws, yes.
No, where did we catch it? It is being thrown from year to year to year, but who was catching it?
JVM automatically create a constructor and default constructor, and it's handled by object
No, how does
default object
how does
natural
Java
tendency
handle
class.
exception? The first point come over here back. Here, point number 4.
Java natural
This
tendency.
is how
Immediate
this is how
reactions.
this is how JVM handles it. Point number 4 is how JVM handles the exception. So how does it handle it? How does JVM handle the exception? Amir.
So immediate reaction when an exception occurs.
Now what is immediate reaction?
When we enter something not appropriate,
Mhm.
then
Amir, how many hours are you giving to Java on a daily basis?
yes, sir.
How many hours are you giving to Java on a daily basis?
Right now, before 3 weeks, I spent only 1 hour or half an hour.
So you
Not
think
one.
that you can crack any interview, corporate interview, by giving 1 hour and half an hour a day? Is it?
No, sir.
Then what do you expect from SCS then?
I have to give more hours to practicing Java.
So when
And
do you plan to do that? Are you waiting for lunar eclipse to occur? Sir, I'm waiting for lunar eclipse. And then when that will occur, then I will start giving time. Is that so?
no, sir, not like that. But
So didn't I take all these 10, 11 points in detail and weren't they recorded and given to you all, and you all were asked to practice and go through it? So
no,
if this is the level of effort you are putting in, then your expectation is too high from SCS then. Sir, I have enrolled SCS that they will place me. Then I guess you're in the wrong bus. Yes, Shabana, what does line number 4 do?
Sir, line number 4 is a Java natural tendency and immediate reaction when an exception occurs. Uh,
When an exception occurs, Java's natural tendency is it will search in the library and find out which class exception has occurred.
First is check the code. First it check the code code is what is right here. It is a type of compilation
Java natural
error or
tendency is to create an object and
Shabana, you should only speak when you are confident. Just speaking here and there will confuse the interviewer and paint a wrong image of your concepts in his mind. So just for the sake of answering, we elaborate and just make the answer longer and don't take the proper keywords will not impress the examiner. So if he asks you 10 questions,
Yeah.
you answer even 3 correctly is fine. And at the 7, you can say, sir, I don't know about this. Instead of just attempting it. Yes, Ataullah.
Natural tendency is to create an object when an error occurs, exception occurs.
So Java will search in its vast library of exceptions which class exception has occurred. First, it will identify that class.
Yes,
Second, it will create an object of that class.
yes.
Third, it will throw the object.
Like what type of exception is it? Arithmetic input mismatch.
Yeah. And then if the programmer has written any programming to catch it, the exception will be handled. If the programmer has not written any catch block to catch it, what will happen? The exception is still on the console, showing some error messages, and the application will terminate. Correct?
Yes.
Now my question is, was this explained in detail or not?
Yes.
Then why is the hesitancy in answering? Because y'all are not practicing. So if y'all are not practicing, then I'm asking the counter question, what are y'all expecting from SCS? If y'all are not fulfilling SCS expectations, then what are y'all expecting from SCS? Just by merely giving half an hour a day, y'all want to get placed in a prominent multinational company as a Java Spring Boot developer with a package of 7 to 8 lakhs per annum. Then I guess it's high time we woke up.
Yes, half an hour and 1 hour is not gonna work.
Even 2 hours is not going to work. I only see Shabana putting in the hard yards because she is religiously fulfilling the assignments and sending. Apart from that, as a trainer, if these guys from the management, Sataj Bhai and Shakib Bhai, take my honest feedback and say, sir, which candidate do you recommend? I will only recommend one candidate, that is Shabana, as of now. Till this I'm talking
Yes.
about 6th September 2023, 10:30 a.m. IST. Beyond that, if you all are able to convince me, then my verdict might change also. But current status says only
So
one.
how many hours? Around 3 hours is sufficient for now, or more than that?
More the merrier, more the merrier. The more sugar you add, the more sweeter it becomes. So don't keep any restriction on the timeline. Don't watch the clock and practice. Practice till you faint.
Practice make a man perfect.
So half an hour and 1 hour at this moment, because now we are into the advanced topics. Maybe exception handling will finish today. We are at the last topic, right? Topic number 11, exception delegation. Tomorrow I might take a different topic, which will be much more advanced than this. So if you all are compiling the work and piling up the work, then when will you all practice? So here, has the programmer taken any mechanism to handle the exception over here? Do you see any catch block?
No, just throws block.
Just throws keyword, right?
Yes.
So even the main is telling the one who is calling me will handle it. So who calls main? Who calls the main?
JVM.
JVM is no.
So if JVM is going to handle, then it will be by Java's natural tendency. So what is Java's natural tendency of handling exception? It will identify which class of exceptions occurred.
Yes,
Which
and then
class
create an object. Yes.
occurred? Which class exception has occurred?
Arithmetic exception.
And then it made an object of that, and through that object, did the programmer catch the object?
No.
No. So it spilled on the console and showed you all dirty error messages, and the application terminated.
So we can fix that error from here, right, by clicking
So
on
you
that
have to
underline.
catch it. You will have to catch it somewhere. someone will have to catch it. Either divide has to catch it. If divide is too busy catching it, it will delegate it. That brother, calculate, you catch it for me. If calculate is too busy, then it will delegate it to main, you catch it. Someone will have to catch it.
Okay.
So if main says, okay, I'll catch it for you all, don't worry. So main will call it in try, because catch can only be accompanied by a try, okay? And now catch says, okay, I'll do the handling. Don't worry.
Mathematical exception.
Hi, Omar.
Main will have to
Audible to
handle
you?
it, right?
Excuse me, Omar. Am I audible to you?
Yes, your voice is not clear.
Am I audible?
Someone. So please,
Umar sir, he is asking something that am I audible or not? Someone.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Omar. Hi, batch. I just got an intimation from Sakib to join this batch. If you will allow me for a couple of minutes, should I go ahead and introduce myself and
Okay.
I'll set the agenda?
I'll just finish this topic in around 5 minutes.
Sure.
Then
Sure,
I'll
sure.
give the mic to you.
Sure, makes sense.
Okay, thanks. So please enter valid
Number.
denominator, right?
Yes, denominator.
So now someone is handling it, right? So now, is this line needed or should this be removed? The one which I have highlighted. Is this needed anymore or should this be removed?
This can be removed because we have already provided.
Yes, because someone has handled it, right? You
Yes.
write throws when you want to delegate. When you are doing it by yourself, will you delegate? So main is doing the handling by himself, correct?
Then do not need to throw anything.
This doesn't need to be there, as simple as that. And now the program will not terminate because it is being handled by someone.
Sir, can you please repeat one more time, please, sir, shortly?
See, in exception delegation, someone will have to do the handling. So is divide doing the handling?
Okay.
Is divide doing the handling?
No.
No, and it is delegating it. So either you delegate or you handle. Two things should be there, either. So either you handle, that is try catch, that is catch. Handle means or you delegate. That is throws. Correct?
Yes, sir, correct.
So what is divide doing from these two options? What is divide doing?
Throws.
It is using option number 2, valid.
Yes, sir.
Then what is calculate doing?
Throws.
Option number 2. Now,
Yes, sir.
if I write over here, main also does throws. Then main also is delegating.
Yes.
Then is there a need for main to write try catch?
Yes.
If it writes throws over here, I'm asking. If main writes over here throws, blah blah blah, is there a need for main to write try catch?
No, there's no need to write
Okay.
try
So
catch.
is main writing throws? Is main writing throws?
No.
Then it
Yes.
yeah.
Ravana, my question is main writing throws over here? Yes, no, maybe.
No.
No. So now it has to handle it, correct?
Yes.
It is doing the handling now. And now once the exception is handled, program will not terminate.
Okay.
Not understood.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
I understood, sir.
Understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now my question over here is, what type of exception was being thrown?
Arithmetic.
Yeah, arithmetic comes under which category?
Unchecked exception,
Yes.
runtime. Unchecked runtime exception. Hello.
So what type of exception is this? Arithmetic exception is of what type? Now you'll understand what is checked.
Unchecked,
Difference of checked and unchecked will be clear now in few minutes. So what type of exception is this?
Runtime unchecked.
Unchecked. So unchecked means will the compiler warn you?
No.
So here, if I do not take any handling mechanisms also, my code will run perfect. If I don't take any handling mechanism, if I don't show the compiler any handling mechanism, still it will compile my code, not a problem. So I have told, right, calculate will throw arithmetic exception, correct?
right. Yes, correct, sir.
So the function which is calling calculate should handle it, and handling can be done in two ways. Either you handle it yourself or you delegate it. So is main handling it?
If main is handling that, show the
Is-
try and catch block
Is main
is
handling
right
it?
here.
Is main handling it?
No, right now, no.
Right now, no. So is main delegating it?
Yes.
Where?
Uh,
Where? I don't see anything over here.
when we write here a throws
Yeah.
keyword.
Is it there?
No, right now, no.
Right now, no, right? So neither is main handling it himself, nor is main delegating it, correct?
Yes.
But as the exception which is being thrown is a unchecked exception, this code will compile. This code will
Compile,
and will run also. Will
run also.
run also.
But JVM shows the error.
Yeah, that time then it will throw. Then it will the program will terminate later on, but the program will execute at least.
Yes, execute one time.
Yeah, it is executing, correct? No, if
Yes.
if the exception does not occur, it will run multiple times. Will the exception occur at this moment?
Yes.
Will the exception occur at this moment?
No. No. It
No.
will simply show the result is
Okay.
5.
So it will give me the answer also.
Yes.
Yes.
But when it occurs, that time it will terminate because we have not taken any provision to handle it, correct? But at least the program compiled successfully and executed
Yes.
because the exception
Until and
was thrown
unless
was,
the error is occurred, the program is executely.
but why did this program run successfully? Because the
Because there
exception
is
which you are throwing
no
is,
exception, sir.
yeah, I'm saying when we say that I'm throwing exception, then someone should handle the exception, right? But here we did not handle the exception at all. Neither did we write try catch, nor did we write throws keyword.
Right.
So how come this program compiled successfully?
Because there is no compilation or runtime
Because the exception which was thrown, my question is, how did it compile? I'm not saying how did it run. My
Okay.
question is, see, when we run means the first line of main will execute. When I say run means, so if I get to see the keyword, if I get to see this hi message, means my program has started executing.
Right.
So now if I run this code, will I see the hi message?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, means my program is executing.
Yes.
So how is it permitting me to execute the program when I have not handled the exception, nor have I delegated the exception? Because the exception which is thrown is a unchecked exception. Is a
Unchecked exception. Yes.
the
It will
compiler
occur
does
with
not warn you
runtime.
about the unchecked exceptions.
Yes. It will check the at runtime while entering the number.
Sometime it will, if there is an exception, it will terminate. But
Yes.
code will compile successfully, correct?
Yes.
Now, on the contrary, IO exception is which exception?
Input output exception.
Yeah, it is which category?
IO exception
Check.
is a category of check.
Compile time.
Okay, so now if
Compile
this
time.
divide says that I throws IO exception. Okay, now you have to handle the IO exception.
Yes. Now it
Yes.
will show an error.
Who will handle it?
Hmm.
The one who is calling
Divide through
one who is calling
the
divide.
exception to calculate and calculate to throw the exception to main. If main is not calling the exception, that it goes to a JVM.
So now if I say this, okay.
Okay.
So now I divide is throwing IO exception. So divide is not catching. So it will go to calculate. Calculate says I'm also not catching. So it will
Okay.
go to whom? You go to main, right?
Right, sir.
Now is main taking any measures to handle the exception?
No.
No.
Neither it is doing try catch, nor it is doing throws, correct?
Right,
Nothing.
sir.
So this code will not execute. Do you see a red dot over here?
Yes.
So now when I run, will it show me the hi method?
No.
Hi message.
No.
No.
Because my program will not compile only. My program will not compile. If I try to run this, it will say you have some errors. You see what is it telling?
Error exists. Yes.
Error exists because
Proceed, sir. Sir, one time, sir, you can run and
see,
proceed it.
proceed, it will throw exception.
Okay.
Getting?
You have to use
Yeah.
try main method, then it will be executed.
So for a checked exception, unless and until you show the compiler that you have taken measures to handle it, it will not compile the code. So at least what will you say? Okay, you say I have done try catch. So for the compiler, I will say I have done try catch. But now which exception is expected?
Input output.
Which exception is expected now? IO exception, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So what will I say? I'll put
Arithmetic
a
is
IO
changed
also.
into
I'll
IO
put a
exception.
for IO also. So once you tell the okay, I have taken the mechanism to handle it. Now the code will compile.
Sir, it means, sir, checked or unchecked exceptions both are right together, sir. Arithmetic is unchecked and IO is a checked.
Yeah, one try can have multiple catches. No? Point number
It can
6.
pin compile
Point number 6, multiple catch. Can
sir,
one try
multiple catch in okay,
Yes,
but
yes.
here you can take sir, checked and unchecked both are together. Then in this scenario, it can compile one time, and if code is good and it executed and then run it, right, sir?
Yes. Yeah, now this code will compile successfully. So who got the difference between what is checked and unchecked exception?
Yes, I got it.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain it to us?
In unchecked exception, the code will be compiled and it will show the result. But while entering the numbers in runtime, if it is giving an error, it means it's unchecked exception.
Perfect. And checked exception?
Checked exception, the code will not be executed.
Yes.
It will not show anything. It will show an error. That error.
During compile time. During
Yes,
compile
error
time,
is
code is
in the
not
code. It
executed.
will not be executed. It will be a checked exception.
So what all ways can we show the compiler that I have taken measures to handle it? You please compile the code. So either I write a try catch, correct?
Yes.
Or if I don't write a try catch, then how do I show? Then
It shows the error.
I delegate it to by saying throws IO exception. So either I catch it myself or I delegate it to someone to catch it, so that the compiler can now compile the code at least. So now have I taken any mechanism to handle the IO exception?
No.
So I can, for the compiler to be happy, I will say, okay, I have taken some mechanism. So either you handle it yourself.
Okay,
or
yes,
you
throw
delegate
will
it to
handle it.
someone. Now also, now you see, now do you see a red dot?
No.
If I remove this, now you see.
Yes.
So what did you understand with this?
Compile time error.
Yeah, so for a checked exception, you have to show the compiler what
Yeah.
mechanisms you have taken to handle that exception. Unless you show the compiler the mechanism you have taken to handle the exception, it will not compile. So either you show the compiler a try catch, or you show the compiler a throws. Either one of them you should show.
Error in console is unchecked exception and the programming section is checked.
Means
The same you thought I am saying that runtime exception
That's a
checked.
runtime exception are unchecked exceptions.
Yes.
Runtime exceptions are unchecked.
Yes.
exceptions. Import java dot lang dot exception. Yeah, java dot io dot exception.
Java.lang.exception class is checked. So all the children of that are also checked.
Mhm.
So IO exception is the children of exception class. IO
Yes.
exception directly inherits from the exception.
Yes, sir.
So I'm asking who got the crux, what I'm trying to explain. But I am not getting the vibe that you all have understood. One reason might be you all are not practicing, maybe.
Sir, can you repeat your question? There is some
Go get complicated
issues.
day by day. Yes, Shamana, tell me.
Sir, can you repeat your question, please?
My question is, did you understand what I meant by checked and unchecked exception handling?
Yes, sir.
If I'm
I
throwing a unchecked
understand.
exception,
Mm.
throwing a unchecked exception, is it compulsory for you to show the compiler the handling mechanism?
Yes.
Yes,
If
sir.
I'm throwing
You are
a
throwing an
unchecked
exception. Yes.
exception,
In case of unchecked, it is compulsory to show the exception by a compiler. No,
No, in
directly.
unchecked it's not. It's in checked exception. It is necessary to show the compiler
Only a
that
checked,
using the
only a
mechanism.
checked,
when
unchecked.
the
No.
checked exception, it is compulsory for you to
Yes,
show the
sir.
compiler, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will show that red dot over here.
Okay, guys, we have a guest speaker. So where is that person, Gafi?
Kafir is not here.
He left.
No, he left.
We are told him, no?
Yes, you told him that after this class.
He is dropped off.
Yes, he left.
He left. Okay.
We see, sir.
He was some guest speaker who was going to train her on communication skills.
Wow.
So he was important. We did not give him the due respect which he deserved. Because I wanted to complete this topic, so in that I kept on progressing. But now if we invite him, I doubt he will join back because it could not be that we disrespected him.
I think it is not a disrespect.
No, that's from our angle, no? But the trainer might feel that I waited for so much time and they made me wait, did not let me
Yes,
speak.
yes, but we also need to be informed earlier that who is joining
I
us and
was given a heads up. I was given a heads up that he will join, but
I was about to ask that who is that Ghafir Samad entered in this.
I was not informed about the name.
Mhm.
I was not informed about the name that so and so person and so
Okay.
name.
We just got the information that someone will join regarding this
We
session.
can ask him to join again, but you said that he's running late.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. जी साकिब भाई. Shakib bhai is calling him back. Let's see if he is willing to join now.
We'll wait.
Communication skill trainer he is.
Mhm.
If you have a time, then we ask one questions to you, sir. Umar sir.
I think he is on call.
Okay. ये कौन है ये lady?
शबाना कुछ आया था स्क्रीन पे?
हाँ, किसी ने तो उस पे रेड मार्क से कुछ तो ड्रॉ किया था, फिर से मिटा दिया.
Time password. We could do it. We will also try this.
Guys, he has some work. He's busy with something, so he just had 5 minutes. So that's why he told that if I get to talk in the next 5 minutes, I'll join. Else I have to jump off. So because of his personal commitments, he had to drop off. So maybe the management will schedule another session with Ghafir Ahmad, and then he'll brief you about presentation, how to talk in the interview, and how to stress on what topic of your resume Okay,
Mhm.
that will be very important.
Shabana wants to ask something to you.
Yeah,
Question based, sir. How we extend
yes.
more than two classes in one class?
No, a multiple inheritance is not
Is
supported.
a extend A and extend B like that?
Not at the same time, not possible. Simultaneously, if you are doing in one
Okay.
statement, it is not possible. If you are trying to do,
Interface by
yes.
using an interface, how can we do it?
So if you are trying to say class A extends B comma C, this is not permissible. One
Okay.
class cannot extend simultaneously at the same
Okay.
time from two classes, but
Okay.
interface can.
So class A implement B and C. How can we write this type?
That is possible. Class A, and if B and C are interfaces, so it implements B and C. So if B has function 1 and C has function 2, now
Okay.
A has to override function 1, function 2 both. It has to override both of them.
Okay.
Got it?
Got it, sir.
Okay. Okay. Bye, guys. Take care. I'll see you all on Friday. Practice
I
this
love you,
what
sir.
I have taught till now, and then I'll share the assignment maybe on Friday. So take care. Bye.
Allah Hafiz.